Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Murmrgh, the dad in DPS, and we're back with another episode of Scrip My Pants, a series where I spend 2,000 scrip in order to pretend that I don't have crippling depression. Ha 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 ha. Either way, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. Now, as with everything, we are going to get range weapons, and hopefully we don't get something absolutely awful. So, first up, what are we going to get? Furious Gauss Shotgun, 25% faster fire rate, 1 agility. Now this one is... it kind of would have been a good roll if it wasn't for that Furious effect. Furious and explosions do not go well hand in hand. Faster fire rate on this type of weapon would cause a lot of damage in tandem, but yeah, Furious kind of spoils it a little bit because obviously explosive damage. It's going to bounce, it's going to hit other targets, it's going to reset that main damage type. 1 agility, not the best effect, but still, a kind of silly roll. Next up, Furious Short Ultra Sight Pistol with 25% faster fire rate. Now this one's actually okay. Furious and faster fire rate go hand in hand. Then the damage resistance when reloading is never bad, it's just not optimized. First two effects, yeah, definitely okay. A lot of Furious weapons tonight, I don't know why. Suppressor's Missile Launcher, VATS hit chance, VATS exploit cost. That's going in the bin. I have no interest in that weapon whatsoever. I'm not even go into it, it's just crap. Troubleshooter's Snub-Nosed, 0.44. Limb damage, critical meter. This one's crap for all the same similar reasons. Troubleshooters is not a great effect, let's be honest. Limb damage, not so much either, and critical meter, it's kind of like polishing a turd at that point. Executioner's Short Gamma Gun, replenish action points with each kill, 9% reduced weight. This one's actually okay if it weren't for the fact that Executioners and replenish action points with each kill don't necessarily gel well either, on the basis that technically the enemy should be dying at that point, and you would want something else like faster fire rate in the middle or like damage while aiming. I don't really know. It doesn't really mesh well for me personally. Reduced weight's always good because it will take up less space in my inventory. Stalker's Assault Rifle. Blows explode for air damage, breaks 50% slower. In Stalkers, it's absolute crap, and I don't want to talk about it. Assassin's Short Assault Rifle, VATS hit chance, 1 agility. Assassins. One of the most pointless effects in the game. Literally. Not a good roll in any way, shape, or form. Bloody Combat Rifle, damage while aiming, 1 perception. This one is actually good. All these effects work quite well, and overall it's a very decent weapon. Quite happy to have it. I don't think I've got a variation of this type, so yeah, quite happy with that. Very happy with that, in fact. Troubleshooter's Missile Launcher, VATS hit chance, Stealth Field. No, Scrip. Mutant's Black Powder Rifle, bashing damage. Wow, there's a collection of effects that I'm never going to use on this weapon ever. It's going in the bin. I don't want to talk about it. Assassin's Minigun, limb damage, 1 perception. Why would you do that to a Gauss minigun? Why? Why? No. Limb damage and percept? No. No. Mutant's Pipe Revolver, limb damage, VATS, action point cost. Damage, well, it's going to boost your damage by 25%. Limb damage, and then VATS action point cost. And it's not worth really scripping, but at the same time, it's not the best. It's a noob weapon, realistically. Limb damage is not the best, but it would cripple things relatively easy, I suppose. Medic's Ultra Sight Gatling Laser, VATS hit chance, breaks 50% slower. Well, there's a bunch of effects that are not going to work on this weapon. Yeah, that's Scrip, because who's using Medics for one and VATS with a freaking... Yeah, no. Executioner's Crusader Pistol, faster fire rate, breaks 50% slower. This is actually a decent little pull. Execution is good, faster fire rate is good, breaks 50% slower, also good. I'm quite happy with that as well. We're getting a lot of decent Crusader pistols. Troubleshooter's Short Flamer, faster fire rate, Stealth Field. It would be good for daily ops with robots, I suppose, but outside of that, no. Not at all. Medic's Radium Rifle, limb damage, reduced weight. Oh god. It's Medics, they're not great. It's not a great effect at all. Let's not talk about that either. Troubleshooter's Plasma Pistol, damage while aiming, 1 perception. Once again, it would be good for daily op with robots. Outside of that, not really much else use for it. Definitely something you put a flamer on, but nah, I don't know. Fuel Slayer Gatling Laser, faster fire rate, damage resistance while reloading. I mean, this will shred ghouls in 2 seconds flat, but you don't need this level of ordnance for ghouls. It's giving me crap today, apart from a couple of things. 2 more to go. It's a suppressor's fixer, limb damage reduced. Wait, that's just Scrip. That depresses me so much because it's a fixer, but still. Depressing. And last but not least, instigating pepper shaker, damage while aiming, 1 agility. Instigating on a pepper shaker, really? Let's find out what the top picks are. So I think for tonight's first pick, I'm going to go with the first item we got, the Furious Gauss Shotgun with faster fire rate, 1 agility. Now, while it is not optimised because the Furious effect will counteract itself with the explosive damage of the Gauss Shotgun when you're hitting more than 1 enemies, the explosive radius on this weapon isn't actually that big. So you do have a chance that it's not going to hit other enemies, especially if you're using it against bigger enemies like the Scorched Beast Queen and Earl, where essentially it's going to be, you know, there's nothing else really around. So it depends on how you use it, depends how you want to go about it. It will one-shot quite a lot of enemies anyway. That given the weapon itself is kind of buggy at the moment, it's not working as it should, or rather as it used to. And I'm assuming they will fix shotguns eventually, so hopefully it is back at its peak at some point. Now next up we have our short combat rifle with 25 damage while aiming, 1 perception. Now the reason this one isn't taking the top spot is because, well, the 25 damage while aiming does not lend well to the 1 perception. The reason I say that is that this weapon is primarily best used in VATS, as a lot of weapons tend to be, and the 1 perception does lend to that because the more perception you've got, the more accuracy you've got. That does also calculate into manually aiming, but you get my point, it's not quite the same effect. Either way, it's a very decent gun. It's overshadowed by the fixer quite a lot of the time, but if you're wanting to manually aim this thing, it is going to put holes in things pretty well. And last, but certainly not least, is our Executioner's Crusader pistol with 25% faster fire rate, breaks 50% slower. Now, Executioner's is a very slept on effect. The way to look at its damage is that it is multiplicative instead of additive. So when you get most effects in games, they will add 25%, 10%, 5%, 50% to the base damage of the weapon. This, however, basically adds 50% of the modified damage. So if you have all your perks on to boost your pistol damage by 30%, by 30%, by 30%, and I don't know what that actually turns into. It's like 30% of the original plus 30% of the original plus 30% of the original. Then you add in other buffs like your weapon, not weapon buffs, chem buffs and other things. This will then add 50% extra damage from the total of those damages. Therefore, it adds a significant amount and technically will add more than bloodied when you are buffed or when you are, at your peak damage. So yeah, pretty good weapon, really good for taking on bigger enemies if you're wanting to use the pistol build. And I would heavily recommend that people carry around Executioner weapons on their persons. It is a good damage type, but people forget it. That was today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, a comment and subscribe. If you'd like to support the channel, there are several means. You can click that coffee button to donate to me directly. There's also our Teespring for the merch that you can see on screen right now, as well as our YouTube member button and the new Super Thanks button. So if you'd like to support the channel, don't forget to hit any of them. Now, on the note of our members, let's thank them. So, let's thank our YouTube members. We've got our chosen Undead members, Golty, Theophane Gaming, Bubba Doodle Mom, Scott S, and the BPP. We also have our Dad's Army members, Wyatt Blackburn, Wallerdean, Colin G, Peg the Knight, Matasmo, Devilman Games, Marcus Garscon, Ranger Nick Sprudel, Anxiety Rangers, White Spake Spuds, Numpty, Sickle Man, James Colesrud, and Country Boy Stevens. Big thanks to all of you. I hope you're all doing incredibly well, and thank you for your continued support. Now, tonight's video I think was relatively successful. Obviously, a lot of script. Not as many moderate weapons, but the ones that we did get were actually quite decent, and I'm more than happy to get more Crusader pistols, as you guys know. Either way, I'll catch you all next time in the Wasteland.